Hey guys, it is time. The iPhone XS Plus clone has arrived. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. This should be a lot of fun. It's always a good time when a Chinese manufacturing company builds a phone that hasn't been released yet and beats Apple to the punch. So I'll be showing you the 6.5-inch larger iPhone X version. One thing that I'll take away from this video is just using this thing in one hand. It should be built on the same specs, dimensions as the real deal at least. So we'll see how the usability is. But still, could surprise me, could be a good value. And these are a bit spendy right now just because of how new they are. I'm surprised I got my hands on it so fast. And there's several different versions, so this may not be the final one. This was, I believe, near $200. So let's see how close they got to the unreleased version. When I got a couple different ones. So nice, looks like the packaging looks good at least. It's huge. So this is Apple's official box here for the 10. And this is for the XS Plus. That is huge, look at that. Cool, so the packaging looks really good. It doesn't say anything different, no plus branding or anything like that, but it's just a massive version of what we have right now. Here's a silver one. So I think I'm gonna go for the silver one first. We'll check that out. Let's take a look here on the back. So they copied all the text from the standard iPhone X, didn't even bother to change it. All right, here we go. Screw Apple's event. I gotta do this an entire 2-3 weeks early. But for real, I'm so excited. I mean, we've got basically 2 weeks left and we're gonna be seeing the real deal here. All right, here we go. Not very presentable packaging. Bubble wrap, that's a first for Apple. And ooh, comes with the pin ejector tool. Still no Apple stickers. Everything is larger though. There's this. My, that is massive. KK concept, so just like some of the Galaxy clones that we've seen, but they're definitely upping their package game. Looks a little nicer. This is the overseas version, and the real deal is rumored not to come with the headphone adapter anymore, so you'll have to buy that separately, and it will have a new fast charger, different design. So this concept or this fake might eventually be updated with the new one. All right, I got the iPhone X to compare with, and let's go ahead and peel this backing off. It actually looks really good, especially the borders. That's definitely real metal, and it has very similar sheen to the real deal. I'm actually a bit amazed at the craftsmanship. The buttons are beveled as well. Very good attention to detail. I like that. Okay. And the text is a little off. It's a little squished together. Hard to tell. And as you know, the sheen on the back is not exactly the same. Apple has a special coating they put on it to give it this almost metallic-like look. This is missing it, so it doesn't have that luster. On the front, they provide you with a screen protector, and from what I can see, without even turning it on, is it does have an entirely full notch, so that's cool. For a clone, that is very impressive. On the bottom, it does have a chin area, but it's not bad at all, honestly. And turning it on, there it is. You can see that the display is huge. It does have a little bit of thicker bezels going around the display itself, but I'm surprised at how good it looks. The chin area is better than any other clone I've seen, and Android is starting on my iPhone XS Plus. Nice. This thing feels good, honestly. Like, they did a pretty good job with a clone. Okay, so here it is. Wi-Fi network's available. Looks like the lock screen looks really good. Okay, so we have an older wallpaper in there. Look at that 29. That 29 is squished. It's like rubbing up on each other. Come on, you guys have so much room on this display. What are you doing? And there it is. Why does that take so long? So the control center does work. 3D touch. If you hold on it, it's fake 3D touch. Guess there's that. So at least they put the effort into getting those toggles there for the brightness too. And you got night shift, right? And you got your today view. Let's go ahead and see what this is running. This seems like it's running iOS 11 like clone. What version number exactly? 11.2. So you could technically jailbreak this with Electra. 256 gigabytes? I highly doubt that. Display is surprisingly dim. Obviously it's non-OLED, and nice, it doesn't have the back swipe. So let's see what we can do about that. Really nothing, that's it. That's as bright as it goes. Let's go ahead and explore the software a little bit. It seems smooth on the home screen. Control center takes a minute to come up. Not something I'd expect on iOS 12 from the iPhone XS Plus, but it's becoming more and more natural to actually sit here and just use this thing. It feels pretty dang good. So I was afraid that it'd be kind of hard to navigate, but just like in iPhone 7 Plus, 8 Plus, it's actually very, very similar. You reach a good amount down here. Again, I would have liked for Apple to include the control center on the bottom right here. Oh, nice, here's the app switcher. So it does come included where you can just slide it right away. You don't have to hold on to them. So they thought of that. That's pretty neat. I think this clone has more wallpapers than Apple does. They keep removing them. These guys don't. So that's very, very nice. Actually, a very nice selection here. Let's put the standard iOS 12 wallpaper. Interesting that they would add this, but not change the OS name to iOS 12. Funky animations, but still, I guess it does work pretty decently. Check out the music app. Oh, it's a clone of Apple Music here. And the App Store is actually a cloned App Store. Let me connect to Wi-Fi real quick. Man, this keyboard, old sound from back in the day, brings back some nostalgia. Don't know why they would add it to iOS 11, but okay. Those animations, who freaking thought of that? That is terrible. Man, I'm surprised. This thing is slim, just as slim as Apple's version. It's supposed to be getting thicker. The actual iPhone XS Plus will be a thicker variant. Anyways, their App Store refuses to work. Thankfully, they included a secondary App Store, which is the real one, I believe, the Play Store. The actual bottoms of the phone, very similar. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They actually added an additional speaker port, which is a nice little touch. Cameras look a little off on this one. Apple's has a darker look to it, and this flash unit in the middle looks kind of funky. All right, so check this out. A couple of things I just discovered. If you slide up to leave an app, you can't actually go into the app switcher with it, or, oh, you can. Oh, look at that. That is the worst animation ever. So you can, it just has to be down here. Okay, so I think I got that part wrong. Also, what I saw, what's actually really cool, I did not expect this to have it, is that this has tap to wake. It's more of a double tap, but it does work. That's so cool. Check this out. This is actually kind of funny. So if I go into landscape and then I go home real quick, it'll glitch and there's a fake notch up top for whatever reason, to just give you that full notch experience, whichever direction you go on your phone. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at those cameras. So here are these together. Massive cameras are the same size. This is an 8 megapixel, sadly, and this is a 12. So we'll see what it's capable of. Although with every clone I've tried, I've never walked away impressed from a single one. That looks awesome though. So there's these. As you can see, the camera app looks a little fishy on the XS Plus here. And this just froze. Just another one of the problems it has. It is not very fun to use. Doesn't actually look half bad on the screen. No optical image stabilizer. One of these cameras for sure is a dud, as they always are. But actually recording, you can see how wide the screen is. That is huge. And I'm amazed that they actually got a real notch out of this thing on an LCD display. So this really takes advantage of that and shows you how large that is. So pretty cool. Getting some greenery here. Yeah, for a camera like this, I expect nothing else. That aspect ratio, 3 to 4. So yeah, pretty awful. You already knew that this would be a terrible camera. No surprises here. So let's go ahead and go back in and take this thing apart. See what's different on the inside from the last clone I've used. That's a absolutely massive phone. It's gonna take a toll on your hand. I'm gonna hold this thing up all the time. But if you're used to a Plus, then it's about the same size roughly as one. The toolkit. Let's get to opening this thing. I actually don't know if it opens the same way as an iPhone where the screen comes up or if the back peels off. I have a feeling that that's how it is, but it is glass, so I don't want to break that. I'm gonna go the safe route first and just take out the screws. And these screws don't really want to come out. Maybe I'll just do the trusty old method where I peel the back off. And yeah, that's exactly how it comes off. You can see it's separating already. And there's a very high risk of this cracking. Yeah, that is definitely glass. I can feel it. Okay. Success. I didn't crack it this time. And oh, it does have wireless charging. How cool is that? Here's a wireless charger. Let's pop it on. See, oh, it does. It is charging. So the wireless charger does work. That's a very nice feature to have. So two things that have surprised me about this: wireless charging and the tap to wake feature. Otherwise, here are the internals. Pretty complex as far as a clone goes. Very tall battery. Usually they're short and fat and down here. Oh, and one thing I forgot to mention is that this thing does come with a dual SIM card. And look at that. A dual SIM card. On a clone, they beat Apple to it. And it does appear to be fully functional. And here's the micro SD card slot. So you can upgrade your storage there. That's so cool. First time a clone like this has ever come with dual SIM. They even copied Apple and beat them to the punch with that. So let's seal it back up. And I actually wanted to test out the speakers. So I tried to load YouTube, unsuccessful in the app. I tried to load it through the browser, unsuccessful. So I'm gonna play some sounds here. This is the best impression I can get. So it's only one speaker and it sounds pretty bad. So can't really expect much. Bottom line though, this is not a bad clone. I'd wait for it to go down in price a little bit, but just to have a little device to play around with before the official one comes out, not bad at all. Display, huge, real notch, tap to wake, real wireless charging, dual SIM functionality. This thing has a lot of surprises up its sleeve and a very good build quality, I'd say. So thanks for watching, guys. That is the iPhone XS Plus, and we'll see what comes next. But the real one should be out here fairly soon, so stay tuned for that.